give me shelter, or show me heart. Come on, love, come on, love. Watch me fall apart, watch me fall apart. And I'll be yours to keep. When in the shadow of some deep. Darling, you with me, always around me. Only love, darling, I feel you under my body. Only love,
That is absolutely adorable.
oh, show me heart. Come on, love, watch me fall apart, watch me fall apart.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, it's coming.
Be yours to keep. When in the shadows, well, some in the deep. When in the shadows, well, some.
Oh, hello. She looked good.
I have to iron them.
Is that why you wear your pants too? You knew we were gonna do
Yeah.
that? Let's do a
Darling, you with me, always around me. Only love, darling, I feel you under my body. Only love, oh, give me shelter, oh, show me heart. Come on, love, oh, watch me fall apart, watch me fall apart. Oh, watch me fall apart, watch me fall apart. Oh, watch me fall apart. Darling, I feel you under my body. Darling, you're with me forever and always. Give me shelter, or show me heart. And watch me fall apart, watch me fall apart.
Been up all night, staring at you, wondering what's on your mind. Well, I've been this way with so many before, but this feels like the first time. You want the sunrise to go back to bed, and I wanna make you laugh. Mess up my bed with me, kick off the covers and wait and every word you say I think I should write down. I don't wanna forget come daylight. Happy to lay here, just happy to be here. I'm happy to know you. Play me a song, your newest one. Please leave your taste on my tongue.
Ramp it up.
Paper
Nice and words, go.
Looking great, ladies. Killing it.
Mess up my bed with wasting time, and no need to wonder what's been on my mind. It's you.
Think about it, there must be a higher love down in the heart, hidden in the stars above. Without it, life is wasted time. Look inside your heart, I'll look inside mine. Things look so bad everywhere in this whole world. What's fair? We walk blind, we try to see, falling behind and what could be. Bring me a higher love, bring me a higher love, bring me a higher love. Earth is higher love I've been thinking of. Was a time we're just hanging on, facing our fears and standing out there alone. Are we yearning? And it's real for me. There must be someone who's feeling for me. Things look so bad everywhere in this whole world. What's fair? We walk blind, we try to see, falling behind in what could be.
here to celebrate. As families and as a community of friends, we have gathered here today to witness the marriage of Stacey and Cameron and to share in the joy of their mutual love. Today is very much like any other wedding day, But it is also like no other wedding ever known before, because today it is Cameron and Stacey's day. To this moment, they bring the dreams that bind them together. They bring particular personality and spirit that is uniquely their own, and out of which will grow the reality of their life together. As family and as friends, we rejoice in this outward symbol of their inner union, a union created by friendship, by respect, and by love. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all and to introduce myself to you. My name is Jeremy Citron, and I'm both delighted and honoured to have been invited by Stacey and Cameron to help them celebrate this very special and very magical time in their lives with all of you here today. And so on their behalf especially, a very warm welcome to one and all. Welcome. Cameron and Stacey, by your presence here today, you express your willingness to enter into marriage with one another. If either of you know of any lawful impediment why you may not be married, I charge you to declare it to me now. No? Thank you. Would you like to turn and face each other a little bit? You can pass your flowers if you like. For Stacey and Cameron, this is a very special moment in the development of their relationship. Through their love for one another, their lives have become richer and fuller, and they are both made stronger. Having found one another and having established their relationship, they have come here today to sanctify it and to give it special significance by celebrating it here with you, family and friends, at the Toronto Hunt. Cameron, Stacey, love is something beyond the warmth and glow, the excitement and romance of being deeply in love. It is caring as much about the welfare and the happiness of your marriage partner as about your own. Real love, however, is not total absorption into each other. Rather, it is standing together, looking outwards in the same direction. For in this way, love makes burdens lighter because you divide them, and it makes joys more intense because you share them. May you two trust each other, trust life, and be unafraid. May you love one another, and may you offer your love and your support to all those around you. The decision to marry, made in the context of human uncertainty, requires tremendous trust. Trust in yourselves as individuals, trust in the strength of your relationship, and trust that you will be able in your marriage to deal with whatever the future may hold. With that in mind, I have a question for you both. Cameron, will you love and respect Stacey, sharing your life with her, making a lifelong commitment to her, with the knowledge that such a commitment must be renewed each day? If so, will you please respond saying, I will.
I will.
Stacey, will you love and respect Cameron, sharing your life with him, making a lifelong commitment to him, with the knowledge that such a commitment must be renewed each day? If so, will you too please answer saying,
I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise as you are able? Ladies and gentlemen, Stacey and Cameron have invited you all here today because you are all special to them. As family and as friends, you have a role to play in their relationship. And so I ask you all, will you continue to offer your support and your prayers to Cameron and Stacey in their relationship with each other? If so, will you please respond loudly saying, yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Was that loud enough for you both? Thank you all very much. You may be seated. And now, as the bride and groom prepare to exchange their marriage vows, I'd like to call upon Andrea to join us for a very special reading for this most special of occasions.
When he looked into her eyes, he learned the most important part of the language that all the world spoke. The language that everyone on earth was capable of understanding in their heart. It was love. Something older than humanity, more ancient than the desert. What the boy felt at that moment was that he was in the presence of the only woman in his life, and that, with no need for words, she recognized the same thing. Because when you know the language, it's easy to understand that someone in the world awaits you. Whether it's in the middle of the desert or in some great city like Toronto. And when two such people encounter each other, the past and the future become unimportant. There's only that moment and the incredible certainty that everything under the sun has been better written by one hand only. It is the hand that evokes love and creates a twin soul for every person in the world. Without such love, one's dreams would have no meaning.
Stacey, ever since we first met, I knew I wanted you to be my wife. Even though it annoyed you, I didn't give you my phone number. I always knew in my heart we'd end up here together. You've grown to become my biggest supporter and my best friend. I love you for your infectious laugh and beautiful smile, for your raw and unfiltered passion, for always making me smile, for already wanting to retire to Florida, for pushing me to become a better person, and for always making me feel unconditionally loved. I promise to always love you, stand by you, and pick you up when you are down. I promise to dream and plan with you. I will honor you, and I will love you, faithfully through the best and the worst, through the difficult and the easy. I promise to cherish you, to trust you, and be worthy of your trust.
Cameron, if you had told me on our first date that we would end up here, I probably would have believed you. Because the day I met you, something sparked. You've made my world a more happy, loving, and exciting place. And I can't imagine it without you. I love you for being a kind, patient, loving, and supportive partner. I love you for picking me up when I'm down. And I love you for saying, see you in dreamland every night before you fall asleep. You make Monday mornings even more difficult because I hate saying goodbye to you after the weekend. But I love looking forward to seeing you at the end of every day. I promise to always love you, stand by you, and pick you up when you are down. I promise to dream and plan with you. I will honor you and I will love you faithfully through the best and the worst, through the difficult and the easy. I promise to cherish you, trust you, and be worthy of your trust. Thank you.
May I have the rings, please?
It's too late to change the best man now.
Stacey and Cameron, these rings in their unbroken wholeness are tokens of your union and of your love. They are symbols of the enduring trust and affection that you bring to one another. May these two rings always remind you that your lives are bound together by devotion and by faithfulness.
Stacey, I give you this ring
As a sign of my love and commitment.
as a sign of my love and commitment.
Cameron, I give you this ring
As a sign of my love and commitment.
as a sign of my love and commitment.
Now you can just hold hands. This is easy, but don't forget to kiss twice at the end. Very important. Congratulations.
These two lives are now joined in one unbroken circle. Wherever they go, may they always return to one another in their togetherness. May these two find in each other the love for which all long, and may they grow in understanding and in compassion. May the home that they establish be such a place of sanctuary that all will find there a friend. And may these two rings they wear symbolize the spirit of undying love in the hearts of both of them. Cameron and Stacey, it is with the greatest of pleasure that I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride.
Baby, it's been a long day, baby. Can been going my way, you know I need you here. Clear my
Ladies and gentlemen, a birthday cup.
the way you move me, it's crazy. It's like you see right through me and make it easier. To please me, you don't even have to try. Oh, because you are the best thing. You are the best thing.
We're 1,000 miles from comfort. We have traveled land and sea. But as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be. I would wait forever, exalted in the scene. But as long as you are with me, my heart continues to beat. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, gave you another name, switch up the battery. If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. No, with all of your heart, you can't shame me. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. When I am with you, there's no place
Attention,
I'd
please.
rather be.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. It is my honor and privilege to present for the first time Mr. and Mrs. Cameron and Stacey Lurie. Thanks, buddy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom have asked me to help you all get to know their bridal party a little bit. So one by one, I'm going to introduce you to the bridal party, and they're going to stand up, and I'll try and teach you a little bit more about who they are. So we're going to start. The first person on my list is Sarah Lurie. All right, we don't have enough time to this much applause for everybody, so just for Sarah, and we'll go quickly through everyone else. So Sarah is the oldest and Cam's only sister, a full-fledged veterinarian. I understand she works at a sanctuary raising baby gorillas. Coincidentally, that's the job that Stacey has just committed to for the rest of her life. Thank you, Sarah. Next up, we have Richie Mariani. Friends for 2 decades, the best man, and the only person to RSVP lasagna for tonight's dinner when the options were chicken and beef. Bonus fact, Richie had his own photo shoot today, and it looks great, so keep an eye out for it on Instagram. All right, well, next up we have Kristen. Kristen is Stacey's oldest friend. Christine. We've just met today. Christine's a dear friend of mine. Sorry, Christine. Christine. And after all, she flew all the way in from Chicago to be here. It's always amazing how far people will come for a free meal. Christine, thank you. That's it. Sorry. All right, next up we have Adam Roebuck. Adam Roebuck, are you down there? Well, Adam and Cameron met in kindergarten, and they stuck together through RSGC and even to McGill, where they lived together. Cam has told me that since moving in with Stacey, he's noticed a vast improvement in both the cooking and the lovemaking. Roebuck, he's not a giver. He is not a giver. Now we have Christina. sister of the bride, and the maid of honor. You look beautiful, Christina. She just finished her teacher's college, and she's generously offered to help tutor Cam's friends in basic arithmetic and personal hygiene. Thank you. Next up, we have Daniel Mandel. Daniel Mandel, a friend of Cam's for 20 plus years from the ice. Dan's the only guy Cam knows who took a job at Walmart for the discount on the chips. Thanks, Dan. Next, we have Lindy Scott, right next to me. My dear friend and one of Stacey's best. She's the adventurous one. For those looking for a reference, she's lost more passports than dollar store sunglasses. Fun fact, she was the first person to drink wine from a bag, Lindy Scott. Sean Campbell. Sean is Stacey's only brother and the youngest of the Campbell clan. He's entering his 4th year at Dalhousie. Based on how long it took Cam's friends to finish, we're looking forward to you graduating in 2025. Joe Hatt. Joe, you down there? Joe and Stacey met at Cleveland's house in Muskoka, and according to Joe, she was the first person to introduce Stacey to hard alcohol. Warning though, today she wears a prison-issue anklet, and she still believes 9/11 was an inside job. It's a gateway drug. Adam Lurie, brother of the groom. Yeah! Good man. Good man, Adam. I'm not sure if this kid is better at drinking or playing golf, but I think we're in the right place to find out. Be sensible tonight, Adam. Hillary Hatt. Sister of Joe and friend of Stacey's for more than a decade. She's the artist behind all the invitations, so great job. They look beautiful. Oh no, you're not done yet. She loves her cat so much, I heard she asked for a +1 for Milo. Stacey said no because that's insane. And plus, she was saving that spot for Lindy in case she met someone. Sorry, Lindy. Had to go twice. Love you, Lindy. Okay, the last one. Last and definitely the weirdest is Andrew Spears. He and Cam have been playing hockey together for more than 20 years. He had his ears pierced younger than a child beauty pageant participant. He's the reason you're not allowed a super soaker in the Toronto Zoo and you can't wear roller skates on the subway. Andrew Spears. Thank you very much. I'll keep this brief. My name is Angus McClellan and I'm the MC for tonight. They initially offered me the job of sabering. I thought it looked a little dangerous, so I passed. Cam and I met in the 80s. Knowing him as long as I have, I'm not surprised we're here on a golf course. I am shocked his shirt's on and he's not wearing a World Wrestling Championship belt, but Stacey has really improved a lot about him. I am sure there's a Coors Light at that bar in the back corner, though. I haven't known Stacey for nearly as long, but I do know that she's caring, loving, thoughtful, compassionate, and has a growing affinity for chest hair. Before we begin, there are a couple quick housekeeping items that I want to bang through. The first one is the wedding hashtag is Lurie to be. So please, if you put up any photos, it's Lurie to be. I had originally suggested see you in Dreamland, but I thought that was his and my special thing. I was a little upset about it. As the night goes on, feel free to step outside and get some fresh air, but please be careful, there's a massive cliff behind me here. Everyone be aware of it. And lastly, to our speakers. A wise man once told me that a good speech is like a Scotsman's kilt. Short enough to keep it interesting, but long enough to cover the subject matter. With that, I would now like to invite the main event, Mr. and Mrs. Cameron and Stacey Lurie, to the podium.
Hey guys. Welcome. It's such an exciting feeling to have everyone you care so much about together in one room. Whenever I come home from girls' weekends, I always say to Cam that I'm on a love high, and this is like a love high on steroids. So I just want to take a few minutes to say some thank yous. Firstly, I want to thank our family members who have come in from Kingston, Montreal, Peterborough, and Guelph. I want to thank my cousin Ryan, who is on tour with City and Color, and he flew in from Denver this morning, is going back out to Kansas City tomorrow. I want to thank all of our Vancouver friends. There's legitimately so many of you that I can't even name them all, but all of them are here, and it makes me so happy. And especially thank you to Andrea for her reading during the ceremony. Thank you, it was amazing. James and Anne for coming in from New York. I don't even know where you are. Oh, there you are. Josh for flying in from the UK. And Christine and Robbie who are here from Chicago.
Yeah.
Tonight would not be the same without all of you guys here. I also want to thank my bridesmaids for all of your support today and keeping all of my stress levels low. It was such an amazing day and I couldn't have done it without you guys. To the Luries, I have a million reasons to thank you, but the number one reason is for raising this kind, caring, funny, and selfless guy that I'm lucky enough to call my husband. I remember the first time I met you guys at Lake of Bays, and as soon as I came into the cottage, you guys sat me down on the couch, and it was like an interview panel. 5 years later, and many family vacations, you guys have finally seen my wild and hyper crazy side, and I truly couldn't have asked for better in-laws. I also want to thank my parents for making today the most perfect day. You guys have gone above and beyond to help plan and prepare for today, which, by the way, includes going out into the woods 5 different times to find the wooden centerpieces that are on the table. After those 5 different times, they decided they weren't good enough and they went on to Kijiji. For those of you who don't know my parents, not only are they 2 of my best friends, but they also act as our personal grocery shoppers, meal preppers, free car rental service, free therapy service, and the list goes on. All jokes aside, you are 2 of the most generous people I know, and I know that I'm where I am today because of you. I'm truly grateful to have been blessed by such great parents. And lastly, to my husband. I'm so grateful to be standing beside you today as your wife. I love you to the moon and back, and I can't wait to spend forever with you. Oh wait, one more thing. I'd also like to say thank you to Joe Sakic, because he is the reason we chose August 19th, because it was his number. And our other option was August 12th, and it rained last Saturday, so thank you to him as well.
Keep it down over there. Okay. Hey, everyone. Thank you, Stacey. You look amazing. I want to start by thanking everyone for coming today. There's a lot of people in this room, so thank you. You're all extremely important people in both of our lives, so thank you for your support in helping make this day tremendously special for my wife and I. To the bridesmaids, I know that Stacey cherishes every one of your relationships, so thank you for being there today to support her. It means a lot. To my boys, I said this before, but you guys are the biggest bunch of beauties in the league. We shared a lot of pints together over the past 13, 14, 15, or 16 years. I can't wait to crush many more tonight and in the years to come. To my new in-laws, Nancy and Barrie, you made me feel welcome in your home from the very first time Stacey brought me over. I'll never forget that, by the way. I've always felt very welcome and at home with you and the entire Campbell and Lyons family, to which there are a whole heck of a lot of you. You raised an amazing young lady in Stacey, whom I quickly fell in love with. And although I always felt like a family member, I'm excited to officially join the team. To my parents, Linda and Grant, you've always supported me through a number of different stages in my life. You've provided me with every opportunity to succeed. And although I made a lot of mistakes on the way, yeah, just a couple, yeah. Although I've made a lot of mistakes on the way, you always reminded me to learn from those mistakes. I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am today without you two. I love you both. Stacey, your beauty seems to continuously take my breath away, and I'm glad today that I was surrounded by a bunch of trees when I first saw you, because I needed all the oxygen I could get. Yeah, move over, dreamland. That's When I first met Stacey back in 2012 while having a dance party in a tiny condo to the hit song, Call Me Maybe, I thought it would be a good idea to play hard to get so I didn't seem as desperate as I actually was. I crept her Facebook profile dozens of times before actually working up the courage to add her as a friend. She added me, by the way, let alone ask her on a date. Excuse me, date. A few months into us dating, at least I thought we were dating, I decided to try and impress her and take her to the driving range at St. George's Golf Club. I think Stacey's cringing right now, so it's try to hit some long balls for the lady.
Absolute jacks.
It was obvious Stacey had never golfed before. Nice work, Barrie. As I tried to teach her a few things. It's all in the hips, as legendary golf pro Chubbs would say. Afterwards, this 90-year-old man goes up to Stacey and says, "He's giving you some good tips. Great that your dad is showing you how to golf." To which Stacey replied, "Oh, he's not my dad, he's my friend." So we've been dating for about 5 years, but within those years, we've been through so many different chapters in our lives together. Initially, Stacey was in school, and I was working a job that I hated. Then I was in school, and Stacey was working at a job that she hated. And now we're both at jobs that we love. Through all these chapters, we've still had time to go on multiple adventures to Devil Lake, Lake of Bays, Florida, Southeast Asia, and Ireland. Stacey, I love you so much, and will always love you with my whole heart. I hope that you continue to go through life with the passion and love that you've shown me over the last 5 years. I also hope that you continually think that you're the funniest person on the planet, because I'll never stop laughing at your jokes. I can't wait to see what the next chapter in our adventure has in store for us. I don't know how, but I know it'll keep getting better. I love you, Stacey. I am the happiest person on the planet, and it's all because of you. Now let's eat.
On behalf of Linda and our two wonderful children, Sarah and Adam, who are at the head table, we're so thankful for you all being a part of this very special day. We're so happy for we're so happy for Stacey and Cam, and so proud of them. We'd like to thank Stacey's family, Nancy and Barrie and Sean and Christina, for all their help and support and welcoming Cam into your family. I think it's clear that your family is as excited and proud of this lovely couple as we are. I also want to acknowledge my sister Karen, her son Kyle, her other son Mark, who couldn't be here. He just had an operation. And I also wanted to acknowledge my mom, who will be 92 next month. Her name is Jean, so when you see her on the dance floor, make sure you say hi to her for me. Mom, we're just thrilled that you could be a part of this celebration. Linda's mom, Marnie, is here, along with brothers David and his wife Laura, and Graham and his wife Michelle. We're just thrilled to have you all here. Cam was wise enough to allot me 3 minutes. So why did he do that? Well, as a wise young man, he knew I'd talk about Stacey for as long as possible. It would be spared the possible shots that I might take at him or some stories in his past that, although true, might make him squirm a bit. So let's talk about Stacey. I think everyone here knows Stacey and knows what an incredible person she is. She's just amazing. She's felt for us as part of our family since literally the first day we met her. And I guess that says a lot about her. As you know, Stacey is warm, she's thoughtful, she's kind, she's fun, she's positive, she's unselfish, she's charming, she's energetic, she's ambitious, and of course the list goes on. And of course, she's beautiful. Plus, and on top of all that, she brings out the very best in our son Cam. Let me tell you something that you don't know about her. Very few people in this room know this. She was, for a very short period of time, a world-class movie star. Do you know where I'm going with this one? So our family's in Ireland about 18 months ago. My major goal in being in Ireland was for some things at Sarah's school and to play golf and to drink Guinness. Stacey's major goal was to hold a lamb. So our driver, Eric, set up a sheep farm visit. But at the last minute, the farmer backed out. So Eric, using his imagination and resourcefulness, told the farmer he had a world-class actress who desperately wanted to see his lambs, so we got in. So Eric, it was so cute. Eric, here's this guy outside the car. We're all in the van. Eric's on the phone. He comes back and he says, I got you in. Stacey, you're now a world-class actress. And part of the deal was he was told that Stacey was very private and didn't want pictures or autographs. So we spent 90 minutes at this gorgeous sheep farm with the farmer, I'm sure, trying to figure out who the hell Stacey was. To this day, I'm not sure he's got it all figured out. So Stacey now you know Stacey was a movie star for a day. Now just a very brief comment about our son Cam. We all know he's a people person. He has lots of friends, always a team player, loved by all, humble, fun-loving, determined to be successful, which seems to be playing out quite well. Player of the Year on his hockey team at Royal St. George's, and assistant captain. What was that? What was that? One of the things that Cam has is a good sense of humor. I was golfing with Cam earlier this year, and he hits his usual 280-yard drive.
280 carry, Cam.
Sorry, it was his 3-wood. He hits his 3-wood 280. I hit my normal 180-yard drive. We're walking down the fairway. Cam says, he loves to talk business on the golf course. He says, Dad, did you hear about the new Costco they're building? I said, oh, gee, that's interesting. No. Where are they building it? He says, they're building it between your ball and mine. I will tell you, that's not an entirely true story. That story was told to me by Matt Kuchar, who I was fortunate to play golf with 2 days after the British Open. That's a true story. So one final little anecdote, and this one is true. There'll be no pictures, but it's true. I don't know if Cam knows what's coming here, but when Cam was about 15, we had a weekend at the cottage with several of his hockey buddies, including Richie, who you'll hear later on. And Greg Kelly, his 45-year-old hockey coach, who loves a cocktail and is completely bald, which is important. So there's a bunch of guys in the cottage, some fathers. I go to bed before the boys, not surprisingly. I wake up in the morning and there's a note under the bedroom door. And the note from Cam telling me the boys had painted some hair on Kelly's bald head with a black magic marker after he had passed out on the sofa. And he was telling me, don't acknowledge his new hair when I went downstairs. And Cam was resourceful enough that he decided that he didn't want Kelly to see this for as long as possible, so he hid every mirror in the cottage. So I go down in the morning, there's this 45-year-old guy with black all over the top of his head, and he doesn't know it. It was hysterical. So we had breakfast, we're sort of trying to hold our laughter. Then we hop in the boat, and we're going over to Big One. And I'm going, holy shit, I'm going over to my golf club, and there's this goofy guy with his black stuff all over his head. So Kelly finally goes into the washroom at Big One and sees the artwork on his head. I won't repeat what he said, but it really was one of the best pranks that I've ever seen. Some people would say that Cam was an early preparation for his world in investment banking. Great fun and great memories. And that story didn't even make Richie's list, who you're going to hear later on, so you can imagine there's lots of color coming. Stacey and Cam, you know, you were known by the company you keep. Looking at this group of friends and characters in this room, it's clear you both are most successful. You are fortunate to have such wonderful friends, and I'm sure many of you will be friends for life, as we personally have experienced with our close friends here tonight, who we've known for at least 45 years, the table right in front of us. You two clearly have an incredible future ahead of you. Success is measured by friendships, memories, fun times, family, growing together, laughing, enjoying life to the fullest. Finally, speaking of memories, Cam and Stacey have talked about Stacey's fascination and admiration for Ellen DeGeneres. Look at Stacey looking down there. I am pleased to inform you that you will both be sitting in the front row at Warner Brothers Studio in Los Angeles on August 31 at Ellen's show. The fellow who got that for me is a guy named Robert Blair, who's a very senior guy at Warner Brothers in London. I wish he could hear the applause for that. All I can say to you, too, is let the memories continue. We are thrilled to be a part of this. We're thrilled to welcome Stacey into our family, and I think everyone here is just thrilled to be a part of it and thrilled for the both of you. Thank you very much. All the best.
Kiss me out of the beer barley nightly beside the green gray. Swing, swing, swing these penny steps. You wear those shoes and I will wear that dress. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, so kiss me.
All right, everyone. I'm very, very pleased to announce that next up to the podium, we have the maid of honor and the sister of the bride, Christina Campbell. I've got a fun fact here. Christina just started teaching at a local high school, which means that Max Mausner is no longer allowed within 200 feet of her workplace. Everyone, Christina Campbell.
Thank you, Angus. Thank you, Angus. Thanks to Linda and Grant and Kim and Stacey for your wonderful words. And thank you to everyone for being here today. As Stacey and Kim said, we have friends who flew in from all over and family who drove all across Ontario and from Quebec. So whether you made the long trip, took the subway, an Uber, or the Hilto Express, the fact that you all came today speaks to how great a couple Stacey and Kim are to have such supportive family and friends. And I think I speak on behalf of Stacey, Cam, and both of our families when I say that we're so glad you could make it. When Stacey asked me to make a speech at the wedding, my first thought was, finally, a chance to embarrass her on a public platform. To expose her on our sibling rivalries and years of childhood torment I experienced as her younger sister. Reading my mind, as sisters often can, she said, "You can make fun of me once in the speech." Fair enough. I had to choose wisely. I mulled it over for days, trying to pick the best possible story to get the job done. I reached out to my parents and brother and asked them to brainstorm, really dig deep, for that Stacey story that was equal parts hilarious and embarrassing. But the more I thought about it, the more I came to realize that's not what this is about. This speech is supposed to be about Kim and Stacey's love. So I'm not going to tell you about how she used to pull down the ignoring screen and ignore me for hours on end while I cried and begged her to pull it up. I guess that's more embarrassing for me anyways. And I'm not going to tell you about her countless escapades, sneaking out windows to visit boyfriends as a teenager.
Losers, Cam.
I'm not even going to tell you about the time at the cottage when, during one of my dad's more aggressive tube rides, Stacey bounced off and landed on her bum so hard that she experienced what we might call nature's enema. No, I won't tell you any of those stories. Because what I most want to tell you is how happy I am for Stacey and Cam. Cam's laid-back nature and positive disposition make it so easy for me to officially welcome him into the family. It doesn't hurt that he got me for Secret Santa 2 years in a row and went way over the spending limit. Probably rig it for next year. I can see how much Stacey loves Cam when her eyes light up when she gets a text from Cam saying he's done work early and she races home to be with him. And I can tell how much Cam loves Stacey through the sheer number of hours of keeping up with her Kardashians he's watched over the years. Cam and Stacey seem to enjoy every moment spent together. They make each other laugh hysterically. They understand each other's flaws, but still like each other anyways. If that's not true love, I don't know what is. So please raise your glass in a toast to what is sure to be a lifetime of love and happiness from my favorite sister and my new favorite brother-in-law. Love you guys.
We don't have too many more speeches left. The dance floor is coming soon, but there are two more very important ones I'm excited to announce. Yeah. So next up, we have Barrie Campbell and Nancy Lyons. Please come on forward. Now, for Cameron's sake, we're all very thankful Stacey got her mom's jeans. And if we can keep that pattern alive, maybe Stacey won't be raising those gorilla babies after all. She also made the Jell-O shots that you can find on your table, so make sure it's bottoms up before the end of their speech. I also understand that Barrie retired in his 40s, plays golf, and loves to barbecue. Somehow, I think Cam's gonna find himself right at home. Barrie Campbell and Nancy Lyons.
Thank you, Angus. If there are any of you that we have not met yet, my name is Nancy, and this is my husband, Barrie, and we are Stacey's parents. We would like to thank all of you for coming here today to help us celebrate the marriage of Stacey and Cam. Your presence here means a lot to all of our family. A special thank you to Grant and Linda for all of their collaboration heading up to this important day and for hosting the lovely rehearsal dinner on Thursday evening.
Thanks, Nancy. I started thinking about this speech over the winter when we were having dinner with some friends in Hilton Head, and they had recently hosted a wedding for their own daughter. And Louise asked me, "Have you prepared your father of the bride speech?" Starting to mildly panic, I said, "No, is that a thing?" "Oh, it's a big thing. You better start searching the interwebs." So, I thought, yikes. Any advice? She said, "Yep. Be brief. Don't get drunk. Don't cry. Don't offend anyone." These are not my strengths. But I'm going to try and follow Louise's advice. Okay. For those of you who have a daughter, you may agree that it's a bittersweet moment, to marry your daughter.
No offense, Cam.
Bitter at having to give your daughter away, but sweet considering, the fine young man we're giving our daughter to. It was an honor for us to walk Stacey down the aisle today. If you're like me and you look really bad in photographs, one of the best ways to improve your photogeneity is to pose beside Stacey in a picture. Nobody looks at you. Today was obviously no exception. Stacey, you look beautiful today. It was fun. In the time leading up to the wedding, it's really been fun to get to know all of Cam and Stacey's friends that are in the wedding party today. And can I just say that you guys did a fantastic job. You all look so great here, and I know you all worked really hard to make this happen, and it's noticeable. So thanks for doing such a great job. And to all the people at the Hunt Club who have pulled this off with such polish, thank you all for working so hard and doing such a great job as well. It's been great. About Stacey. So many of her qualities that make us, so proud of her. Where to start? Her sweet disposition, her strong sense of family, always organizing family events. Fam jams, she likes to call them. Her sense of adventure, her love of skating, her love of children, her sense of style, her sensibility, her perseverance, her tenacity, her loyalty. I could go on, but hopefully you get the picture. When Stacey and Cam started dating, I found it interesting, sometimes amusing, when conversations with our friends turned to, Stacey's new boyfriend. Inevitably people said, "How do you like this guy?" If you have a daughter, you might be familiar with this rather loaded question. And when they're looking for your response, they don't care what you say. They're looking at your body language. And, they're looking for things like, "Do you like this guy?" "Oh yeah, he's great. We love him." Fortunately, we never had to conceal any of our body language when answering that question. Cam is a mannerly, nice young man. He likes golf, he likes hockey, he likes Stacey. He's great. And Coors Light. Cam has fit into our family very comfortably, and he has been so easy to have around. It's really a pleasure to be able to offer this formal welcome to our family to you, Cameron. It's been, as you can tell from these speeches, it's hard to even think of anything negative to say about Cam. Oh, wait. Hang on. There was that one time. Shortly after Cam and Stacey started dating, Nancy and I were at home, asleep one night. A Friday evening, if memory serves, around 2 a.m. I guess that makes it Saturday morning. Phone rings a few times.
The house phone.
Waking us from a pretty deep sleep.
I learned from my mistakes, Barrie.
Don't interrupt him.
Jesus, Nancy says, this can't be good. I hope nobody's dead. So Nancy picks up the phone as I begin to wake up. "Hello?" she says. This was one of those calls where you can hear everything over the other end of the line without a speaker. Loud party noise. Then, "Hey." Nancy said, "Hello?" Then, "Hey." A few more Y's this time. I leaned over and I said, "Who is that, the Fonz?" Nancy ignored me. Phone disconnects. Nancy's staring at the phone with a look of dismay and said, I have this strange feeling that was Cam. I said, what? Stacey's friend Cam? Nancy said, yeah. I think I remember his number, and it kind of sounded like him. I said, must have been a pocket dial. Cam seems like such a nice guy. You see how I had your back there, Cam? So we turn off the lights and go back to sleep. Probably wouldn't even have remembered it the next day, and the story'd be over and we'd be on to dessert. Nope. 2 minutes later, phone rings again. You've probably guessed it was the Fonz again. Hey! This time Nancy answered, Cam, is that you? Is everything okay? Click. Oh dear, was our unshared thought at the time. I have to say that early the next morning, Cam called Nancy and, how do you say, took ownership. Seldom. Yeah. Seldom have I heard such a sincere apology. And everything's good. And I'm not sure how our number got on Cam's late night dialing list, but happy to report there wasn't a third call. And one of the best recoveries ever. If I can be serious, if we were to go out and try to find the perfect partner for Stacey, I don't think we could have picked a better one than Cam. It's been really nice to watch the development of their relationship over these past few years and observe how they seem to regularly bring out the best in each other. It's great to be here to help celebrate their marriage today. So please join us in congratulating Cam and Stacey and wishing them a long and happy marriage. Thank you.
Friendships like these are hard to find. The bond between Cameron and his best man, Richie Mariani, is unbreakable. Early reports indicated that this man has already consumed his entire container of jam. He's currently accepting donations to help finance the honeymoon to Saint-Tropez that bankrupted him a month ago. Coincidentally, Saint-Tropez is also the name of the fake tanner that keeps him looking like the 6th Kardashian sister. My dear friend and Cameron's best, it is my absolute pleasure to invite to the podium the only man I've ever met to coat check an entire bowl of spaghetti at a nightclub, Richie Mariani.
So thanks, Angus. We really appreciate you being the MC tonight. We also all appreciate that you matched your hair and your tie tonight. That was well done. That was very, very well done. We all noticed it. Quite obvious. I want to say thanks to Linda and Grant and Nancy and Barrie for putting this special occasion together tonight. We're all privileged to be here, and we're all really excited for the night it's going to be, and we're just getting started. So as Angus had mentioned, my name is Richie Mariani. I've been given this title as the best man for tonight, but I don't think it's true to say that I'm just the best man. It's just really a title. We're all the boys in this room are really best men of Cam's, and it's unfair just to give it to one of us. It's just a title for me tonight. We've all spent many highlight reel stories together with Cam, shared many beers, shared many laughs over the countless years. Only difference between myself and most of the guys here would probably be just a few extra penalty minutes that I served in my minor league hockey career. But that's about it. I've known Cam since the time we played hockey and novice, which is about 8 years old. We were, along with several other the groomsmen in the room as well. We had a Zamboni driver as our coach. He really helped us develop into the star hockey players we were. We owe him a lot, for along with all the other great coaches we had. A lot of winners in that on that roster. At 8 years old, life was simple. Winters we played hockey. In the summers we played ball hockey. Pretty much hockey was our life. But it didn't take long before the world of beers was introduced to young Cameron Laree, along with the rest of us. Before you know it, the summers and winters were a little different. Somehow beers managed to find their ways into everything we did. Whether it be cottages and golf in the summer, Collingwood and Angus's and colder beers in the winters, Buffalo Bills trips, Sweden, Finland, Mexico, Dominican, Montreal, Halifax, it was pretty crazy. And to think we were only 9 years old at that point. Wild, absolutely wild. But there's too many stories to try to share with everyone here tonight. Cam already did a great job at my wedding telling the PG-rated stories, so I can't compete with that. But I will say a few things about the kind of guy Cam has been since I've known him. Cameron William Donald Laree wore number 11 and number 7 during his hockey career. He had a heavy slap shot. He was never the flashiest guy on the ice, more of a stay-at-home defenseman. He was good at least once a game. He would blow a tire, fall down, no one around him. What we would call a yard sale. He didn't play much power play time. He didn't score many goals. And if he did, he would not be one to ever brag about those goals. But I have to say, every guy had a role on a team. And well, Cammy, he was what we would call a great dressing room guy. Man, did Cam get the guys pumped up. He was the hype man. He would start the team cheer before we went on the ice. He would always be chattering on the bench, get the guys fired up all the time. And I could personally say he had a big impact on the way I played and everyone else around us. I never came across another guy like Cam on any of the other teams I played for. He's definitely a Hall of Fame dressing room guy, one of the best. And I don't know what Grant was talking about earlier about this RSGC Player of the Year award. That was made up. I'm calling you out on that one, Grant. Maybe we should look it up on the interweb, Barrie. All right, this is working out. All right. Okay. Growing up, Cam was notoriously known for some of the best classic rock music and playlists, specifically in the dressing room. So I have to tell you, there's one legendary North Toronto hockey tournament. We're about grade 9. We're out in Georgina, Ontario. I still don't know where that is, but we arrived at the arena on the coach bus, about to head off, going to the championship game, and all of a sudden, Cam out of nowhere decides to take the boombox that we listen to in the dressing room. He puts it over his shoulder, and he walks into the rink with all the boys, and he's blasting "The Boys Are Back in Town" by Thin Lizzy. And I gotta tell you, the whole team strolled into that rink with so much swagger, confidence. We were on fire. We were untouchable. And we walked by all the other team's parents and the opposing team players, and they looked at us like, who are these animals? And why does that 14-year-old boy have a beard? Like, oh my God. Jeez. But that was Cammy for you, I gotta tell you. We couldn't have been more jacked up, and the whole team knew it because of Cam. That was the impact that he had on that team. So we went in, we won the game, we won the tournament. You know, needless to say, Cam didn't have a point on that score sheet that night. But he sure was the MVP for getting us that pumped up, and that was the kind of impact and the kind of player he was. He was a one-of-a-kind player on and off the ice. He's the guy that everyone wants to be around, whether it's a cottage weekend, a golf game, a night out to watch the Leafs game. Cam is the guy we all want to be around. He's that positive energy, great sense of humor that everyone loves. Not to mention his booming loud laugh and his loud-ass voice that we know he inherited from Grant. But whether it's on the ice or off the ice, Cam has always been a modest, humble, loyal, and a determined friend. He's a man of his word, a stand-up guy, a man that loves his cold beers. Nah, don't worry, Stacey, not as much as you. Don't worry, you're good there. But I'll tell you one thing, he sure doesn't discriminate. Cam will drink light beer, dark beer, Indian pale ale, even amber beers. He's a total class act, this guy. And it's very fitting that Cam met his true love, Stacey, on his favorite day of the year, St. Paddy's Day. He's such a loyal friend. I want to give a quick example. And we were grade 12 sitting around talking about what universities would be cool to attend after we finished high school. And Queens, McGill, Western, Dalhousie were some of the schools we tossed around. And a year later, Cam was heading off. We were heading off our own ways. Cam was heading off to McGill to do his management degree. And myself and about 20 other goons that are in the room tonight, we were off to Dalhousie. No idea what we were taking, but I think Cam felt bad that he wasn't going to Dal with the rest of us. But this is how dedicated and loyal of a friend he was. He made such an effort to frequently visit us in Halifax once a semester, to the point where one time at a bar, someone asked him, what program are you in at Dal? And this was the best. So we look over, and sure enough, Cam with his glassy eyes and his grinning smile, he shrugged his shoulders, and he held his beer up, and he says, I'm majoring in cold certified beers, baby. But he always had such a great sense of humor. And I gotta say, Cam, you're an absolute beauty, and everyone in this room knows that. But the couple itself, I do want to say a few words. That I am honored to be part of this special day and a new chapter that you are starting, the both of you. Stacey, obviously, you look beautiful tonight. I know Cam's... We all saw Cam's face was lit up like a Christmas tree tonight when you walked down that aisle. So I gotta say that you've brought so much maturity into Cam's life. Although he still does know every word to Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore off by heart. Guaranteed. You can't take the Adam Sandler out of the boy there. And he's definitely a much more balanced life since you've came around and entered his world. And I've got to say, I've never seen the man so happy before. So on behalf of all the boys, Cammy, great job. You've got yourself an A+ wife. Raise a glass.
If you leap awake in the mirror of a bad dream, and for a fraction of a second you can't remember where you are, just open your window and follow your memory upstream. and never leave till I leave you with a sweet dream in your head. I'm gonna watch you shine, gonna watch you grow, gonna paint a sign so you'll always know, as long as 1 and 1 is 2. There could never be a father love his daughter more than I love you. Trust your intuition, it's just like going fishing. You cast your line and hope you get a bite, but you don't need to waste your time worrying about the marketplace. Try to help the human race struggling to survive its harshest night. I'm gonna watch you shine, gonna watch you grow, gonna paint a sign so you'll always know, as long as 1 and 1 is 2. There could never be a father love his daughter more than I love you. Gonna paint a sign so you'll always know, as long as 1 and 1 is 2. There could never be a father love his daughter more than I love
Think about it, there must be a higher love down in the heart or in the stars above. Without it, life is a wasted time. Look inside your heart, look inside mine. Things look so bad everywhere. Was fair. We walk blind and we try to see, falling behind in what could be. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. It's the higher love I keep thinking of. But to turn it, we're just hanging on, facing the fear and standing there alone. I got it, and it's real to me. Must be someone out there who's feeling for me. Things look so bad everywhere in this whole world. Was fair. We walk blind and we try to see, falling behind in what could be. If you don't sing with me, here we go. Bring me a higher love. Yes. Where's the higher love I keep thinking of? I alone. My soul on fire. I can make the sunshine from pure desire. Let me feel that love over me. Let me feel how strong it could be. Oh, you guys are ready to go. Here we go. Everybody sing. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.